Good morning. Welcome this Monday morning, the 19th of December today for our Advent Devo, Advent Day 23. And this one is entitled Human Beings Become Human Because God Became Human. And this devotion today is going to be half by Dietrich Bonhoeffer and half by Frederica Matthews Green. A like-minded soul. The figure of Jesus Christ takes shape in human beings. Human beings do not take on an independent form of their own. Rather, what gives them form and maintains them in their new form is always and only the figure of Jesus Christ himself. It is therefore not an imitation, not a repetition of his form, but their own form that takes shape in human beings. Human beings are not transformed into a form that is foreign to them, not into the form of God, but into their own form, a form that belongs to them and is essential to them. Human beings become human because God became human, but human beings do not become God. They could not and cannot bring about that change in their form. But God himself changes his form into human form so that human beings, though not becoming God, can become human. In Christ, the form of human beings before God was created anew. It was not a matter of place, of time, of climate, of race, of the individual, of society, of religion, or of taste, but rather a question of the life of humanity itself, that it recognized in Christ its image and its hope. What happened to Christ happened to humanity. And now Frederica Matthews Green. The whole Christian story is strange. Frederick Buechner describes the incarnation as, quote, a kind of vast joke whereby the creator of the ends of the earth comes among us in diapers, unquote. Never heard it put that way. He concludes, quote, until we too have taken the idea of the God-man seriously enough to be scandalized by it, we have not taken it as seriously as it demands to be taken, unquote. But we have taken the idea as seriously as a child can. America is far from spiritually monolithic, but the vast backdrop of our culture is Christian. And for most of us, it is the earliest faith we know. The idea of the God-man is not strange or scandalous because it first swam in milk and butter on the top of our oatmeal decades ago. At that age, many things were strange, though most were more immediately palpable. A God-filled baby in a pile of straw was a pleasant image, but somewhat theoretical compared with the heart-stopping exhilaration of a visit from Santa Claus. The way a thunderstorm ripped the night sky, the hurtling power of the automobile Daddy drove so bravely, the rapture of ice cream. How could the distant incarnation compete with those? We grew up with the Jesus story until we outgrew it. The last day we walked out of Sunday school may be the last day we seriously engaged this faith. Wow, those are some challenging thoughts from Frederica. Very interesting. The verse that they've put with this, with our thoughts on this day, 1 Corinthians 13, verses 11 and 12, the great love chapter of the Bible, as it's called. When I was a child, I spoke like a child. I thought like a child. I reasoned like a child. When I became an adult, I put an end to childish ways. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then we will see face to face. Now I know only in part. Then I will know fully, even as I have been fully known. I really like that imagery that we are able to become human through Christ. We see that side where he became us, and we think we become like him. And it's a goal to emulate him, but that level of transformation isn't there. What we do in Christ is we realize the full potential that we were created for as human beings. That in the fall, in the Garden of Eden, with Adam and Eve, we lost it. That being made in God's image was marred. It deteriorated, if you would. And so often we are stuck in a childlike understanding only of the incarnation of God taking on flesh and becoming like us. And that last day we walk out of Sunday school, that's an interesting thought. Maybe the last day we seriously engaged this faith. Did we keep growing in our understanding? Did we keep pursuing understanding the great, great mystery of God in the flesh? Or is our faith rooted in a Sunday school level? That's a good question. I'm going to ponder that one. How much have we kept pursuing, seeking, trying to understand? Blessings to you today on this Monday morning. Pursue the Lord while he may be found.